Cooking Up Business. I'm Wendy Bauman, and I'm President and CVO of the Wisconsin Women's Business Initiative Corporation. And today we're in the heart of Milwaukee, 43rd and Fond du Lac, at the UpStart Kitchen, which I really want to hear a lot about because it's a great story. I know WWBIC helped out originally even on the business plan with some of the ideas behind the UpStart Kitchen. And I'm here with, I think, the most beautiful name in the world, Buddah Fly. And you are the owner of Buddah Luv? Buddah Luv, and in the UpStart Kitchen.
Yes.
Okay, good. So we're going to hear a little bit about our series at WWBIC Cooking Up Business. Talk first a little bit about Buddah Fly. You came from, you grew up here, you came from somewhere else, a little bit about your life. And then we want to hear about your food journey, because a lot of times chefs and owners of food businesses have a really rich, significant food journey. And you might be, you might not. It might be, later in life that something bit you. And then we want to hear about the entrepreneurship piece, a little bit maybe more about the startup kitchen you can share, UpStart Kitchen. If WWBIC helped you out a little bit in your business, maybe others, so that business journey. And then, like I say, it is a food show, so we're going to cook something. And Buddah Luv is vegetarian. Vegan, so not even vegetarian. Because I think of myself as vegetarian, but I also eat cheese and eggs, and I do eat fish, so I'm really like a pescatarian. But vegan is serious. So vegan, no eggs, no dairy, no meat, no chicken, nada de nada. Yeah, it's a little bit trickier. A little bit trickier, and also to make good food, it's a little bit trickier. So we're going to hear about that. But first, tell us about you, Buddah Fly.
So I am Buddah Fly. I am from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I was raised in the urban community, and
so the north side, south side?
The north side.
North side of Milwaukee.
I was raised on the north side. I grew up, I would say, West Lawn.
Okay, West Lawn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Housing authority, City of Milwaukee, West Lawn. Beautiful. Okay.
And I started, so jump right into how I started the journey.
Sure. We'd like to hear a little bit about, anything more about yourself. Is your family from Milwaukee too?
So I was actually born in Texas, Fort Worth, Texas, and we migrated back here to Milwaukee, Wisconsin when I was maybe like 5 years old.
Okay, just a little girl.
Yeah, so I was the only one actually born in Texas. My family is from here, like my immediate family is from here. My mom and my dad are still married. They are going on 37 years.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes, next month. I have two smaller children who help me out in my business.
Nice.
My daughter is also an entrepreneur. She sells tea.
I can't believe you have a daughter old enough. I'm thinking itty bitty little kids. You have a daughter old enough to have her own business, tea business. Wow. Okay.
So when she started, she was 5. She's 7 now.
Okay, so she was little doing something.
A kidpreneur.
Okay.
Yes, and so I went to Bradley Tech for high school. I did a little bit of college at MATC.
Beautiful.
Nothing culinary though.
Okay.
Nothing culinary.
Okay. So it wasn't the food part yet.
No.
Did you like food growing up? Was food part of the family unit? Celebrations on food and cooking, or not so much?
Yes. But I was more interested in the plating of it actually. So I didn't start cooking until I was in my late 20s. And when I first started, my mom always said, "Your food looks really, really beautiful. It's bland, but it looks really beautiful."
Mm-hmm. The presentation.
Yeah,
Presentation. I'm always good. I think presentation is important. Taste is more important.
Yes,
but presentation is also important.
It is. It's key. So I used to have a lot of fun just plating things. So like my mom would cook it. She'd be like, "Can you plate this up for me? Can you make everything look so beautiful?" But I wasn't too much interested in cooking, if you will, just the plating. I love to see something really, really beautiful. And then, so yeah, that's kind of like my backstory.
That's right. Okay, so then all of a sudden you go, I'm going to start a food business. I'm going to, find a place like UpStart Kitchen to start my food business. When did the business idea come in?
The business idea came in, so that we're going to go back to COVID and the pandemic.
Okay, so about 3 years ago?
About 3 years ago. Everyone was locked in the house, right? And I think it was a time for everyone to really get to know themselves and to be in tune with themselves. and my kids was out of school at the time because it was COVID.
Sure.
And I was actually a paraprofessional in the school, so I'm pretty hands-on. I like to do a lot of activities. I decided I was going to order some caterpillars for my children as like a science project. And the caterpillars were actually on back order because of COVID, so we waited like 5 weeks for the caterpillars. And when the caterpillars finally arrived, my children were going with their dad. We were doing 1 week on, 1 week off at the time. And the children were going with their dad, and they were going away for a week. And instantly I was really, really sad because from my back knowledge, I knew that caterpillars took 7 to 10 days to metamorphose into a butterfly. So I'm like, oh my goodness, they're going to miss the whole entire experience. So they was like, they asked if they could take the butterflies. I'm like, well, the caterpillars, I'm like, no. I'll just document them for you, and you'll be able to see everything. So they left. I ended up video recording the caterpillars, and for the first 2 days, I started like growing really connected. I started to be really connected with these caterpillars, and it was weird because I started like showing them on Instagram, and people were calling them ugly and like gross. Keep those caterpillars off your story, and I just felt it, and I'm like, they're not ugly, they're beautiful. I was really connected with them, and then I started to notice when something was happening to the caterpillars on a physical, something was happening to me on a spiritual level. And so we took 7 days. I fell in love with them, and by the 7th day, the caterpillars had went into their cocoon. On the 7th day, my children came back, and when they came back, they're 5 and 6 at the time. They don't care about these caterpillars because they're in a cocoon, they're wrapped up, they're not seeing anything. So I was actually able to take the time off of the caterpillars and focus on my kids, and I was more grounded because I hadn't had them for a week.
A little moment to reflect.
Yes. And so fast forward, they're going back with their dad now because the full 7 days have come back around, and the caterpillars are still in their cocoons. And the day that the children are leaving, the caterpillars are starting to come out of their cocoon. So they missed it again, and I'm steady documenting it. And while something is happening again on the physical to the caterpillar, something else is happening to me on the physical and the spiritual realm. And I just was like really, really connected. I started to love like nature more, everything about nature. I became more connected with the grass, with the moon, the stars, the insects, of course. Water just tastes different. And after that, I remember going to sleep, and I had a really vivid dream, and something really amazing happened to me in the dream. And I woke up by the sound of the butterfly wings flapping. That's what woke me up.
Okay.
And it was 5 butterflies. And when my kids came back, and the caterpillars had transformed into butterflies, they were super excited. She asked if we can keep them. And I thought about it, and it hit me. And I'm like, no, they're not for our keeping. They did what they were supposed to do, and I transformed with them. And hindsight, the caterpillars were never for my children. That's why they were never there. They was always for me, so I can grow and I can evolve. But I let the caterpillars go at a very sacred space. The butterflies, I'm sorry. I let the butterflies go at a very sacred space, and I let go of five different things, which was fear, anxiety, low vibrations, and toward ugliness. And the last one was poverty. Those were the 5 things that I released with the butterflies, and I was able to take on 5 different things: freedom, beauty, wealth, love, and a higher vibration. And so when I took those things on, I just kind of transformed, and that's how Butterfly and Butterfly came
Wow,
about.
that's beautiful.
And so the next cracked these eggs open, I kind of got disgusted, and I was like, I want something living.
Yeah.
And at the time, I only knew for salads to be living. That's all I knew at the time. So I went to get a salad with chicken in it, and I got immediately sick, really sick. And I grounded myself with just putting my feet in the grass. I drank some kombucha tea, and I took a nap in the sun. The next day, woke up 100%. Still hungry. I go back, get another salad with chicken in it, and I got sicker with the same exact thing. And then the next day, I healed myself again. The next day, I said, your body doesn't like meat, it's rejecting meat. And that was the start of me being vegan. So then I was really sad because this is what I knew. I knew chicken, for one. I love chicken. I knew like a lot of different soul foods, so like
Even using the grease and fats and things like that.
all of that. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? Because when I think of vegan, when I thought of vegan, I really thought about salads and a whole bunch of fresh fruits and vegetables, which is absolutely amazing because I love that. But that wasn't the lifestyle that I necessarily wanted to go into. So I got sad, and I'm like, okay, I have to figure something out. And this was on a Friday. I ended up making some fried mushrooms. That was my chicken. I made some yams, some macaroni and cheese, and some greens, and some cornbread. And when I made it, it was really, really, really good. And on a Sunday, I decided I want to sell soul food vegan plates.
I love it. So just right from that, just an awakening and change, making the food and going, I think this could be a business.
And I sold the soul food plates. I sold out. I was doing it out of my house at the time.
Okay.
It was a huge outpour of support, and people loved it. And it really just went from there.
Wow. Okay, so then real quick, speed it up a little bit. So had this idea. Did you have a business plan? Did you need financing for this? How did you sort of really put it together that now you have a successful business? We're coming. It's coming.
Yes.
Coming, growing business.
Yes.
Startup and growing business. Working out of a shared kitchen, UpStart Kitchen of Milwaukee.
Yes.
How did that sort of happen? How did you find out about this place?
So I actually quit my job.
Okay.
I actually quit my job. I had this really grand idea that the business is going to take off. And I'm like, okay, I need to quit my job because I have to focus on this 24/7. And I did that for, I would say 1.5 years. And then I would say I got drained, or it was like overwhelming to where I wasn't able to keep up. So I slowed down, and when you slow down, the money does not come in like you need it to. And then I have 2 small children, so they need stuff constantly. So I ended up, one of my customers actually offered me a job opportunity, and it was to work here on a contract here.
Okay. At the UpStart Kitchen.
At the UpStart Kitchen. And from there, it kind of went, I don't know, I'm just aligned with everything to where
So you still work here.
I still
So you're an
work
employee
here.
of UpStart Kitchen, which is great, really helping entrepreneurs and food-based businesses, and you run your own food business out of here too.
Yes.
Okay, so you got the best of both worlds right
I
now.
have the best of
And maybe if the other one grows, you can maybe keep working, doing here, but maybe not working here too.
Yes.
So that's fine. We often encourage people at WWBIC to keep that job as long as they can, until they can maybe put 2 feet in the business.
Yeah.
And your relationship with WWBIC?
So my relationship with WWBIC is really amazing too. So my coach is someone that I grew up, we mentioned Westline earlier, someone that I grew up with. She was my mentor in Westline. She had a business called Ladies, which was loving and developing yourself. And so she was my mentor then. And we met, she sees what I do on Instagram and Facebook, so all of my socials, and she just loves what I'm doing for my community. And I was able to connect with WWBIC and become one of the mentees. and that's how all of this came about. So yeah.
Great. So we provide you a little bit of business training, a little bit of
Yes.
business support.
Yes.
Excellent. Good. Good.
Yes.
Okay. Well, now we got to start cooking.
Okay.
So chickpea melt,
A chickpea tuna melt.
tuna melt. Okay. Sort of like what tuna melt.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go do it. So we're here with Butterfly now doing a demonstration because we have to be doing a little bit of cooking since it's a cooking show. We've been cooking up business, and Butterfly was involved with a WWBIC program called Black Business Schools that helps Black entrepreneurs and businesses in really greater Milwaukee. So I'm glad that we were some assistance, and hopefully we'll continue to be some assistance.
Yes.
So talk about the ingredients, talk about the cooking here. Let's go.
All right, so today we are going to make some chickpea tuna. I like to call it thick chick tuna.
Great.
So
garbanzo beans.
So you need some garbanzo beans for chickpeas.
Or chickpeas. And you rinsed them already too. So I know that too. A lot of people, people that don't really know how to cook, sometimes you have to go everything with them. Rinse them.
Okay, yes, rinse them well. You need some vegan eggs, which is vegan mayonnaise.
Okay. Does it taste a lot different than regular mayonnaise? Or is it similar? Tastes similar.
very
Okay, but no eggs. That tastes a little different, right? Yeah, okay, good. Looks creamy, smells good.
So we have some sweet relish. I actually have some Grey Poupon.
Great poupon.
Some
Which is good mustard. It is good
Yes.
mustard. I'm a mustard person. It's good mustard.
You're gonna need some celery, onion, and then I actually have some green peppers already chopped. So black salt would be the key ingredient in this. The black salt is going to give it an egg flavor. So some people put eggs in their tuna. I'm one of the people. Obviously I don't eat eggs, so I make sure that I keep this black salt with me. Some pink salt, I love some onion powder, garlic powder, and then another key ingredient is some seaweed. So this is going to give it a fish flavor, and these are just roasted seaweed snacks with seafood.
Yeah, you used a lot of Asian cooking.
And the last thing is a half a lemon.
Hey,
All
you
right.
look like a pro here. She's got everything set up. I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
Thank you. All right, so we're just going to dump the chickpeas in.
It smells wonderful.
This is actually 2 cans. We're going to go in with our vegan mayo. I'm probably going to have to open that up. And then a masher. You're going to need a masher. So I'm going to just mash these up nice until you get like I would say a tuna consistency.
Yeah. I had this one time at a vegetarian restaurant that was a client of ours. She actually went out of business, but in a good way. She closed her business down.
Okay.
But I had it, and she called it tuna fish sandwich. And I love tuna fish sandwiches, and I do eat tuna fish. And I had her call her over to the table going, okay, wait a minute. There's tuna fish in here, right? No, Wendy, there's no tuna fish in here. There's no tuna fish. It tastes so much like it. It's the consistency and then the flavor, and doing those little sneaky things like that part that tastes like fish. Yeah. Already looks a little bit like tuna fish.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes. And so chickpeas are actually a vegan's best friend. It has a great source of protein. They're super healthy for you. They taste really
Yeah, I should really eat more. Because I'm, like I said, a pescatarian. I do a lot of beans, but I don't do a lot of these, and I really like them. These can be also put in a salad, just whole.
Yes. And I love hummus too. So I'm a big fan of hummus. All right. So these are
Pretty good. Good smashed up. Yeah.
So now we're going to start adding in all of our
We use this sprinkle. Any powder, that's a key. Nice flavor. This one once again?
garlic
Garlic powder.
and grain.
And the relish.
Yes.
Mustard, a lot of mustard.
I wasn't going to use all of it.
Okay, so about how much?
We can go half. Okay.
Indian black salt.
The egg fat.
Smell it.
What does it smell like?
You can't smell too much of it. And then now this is Himalayan salt.
Yes.
One more? Sometimes it looks like a lot of salt has things and stuff. And then this is going to be more layered, or is this going to be broken up in it? You ready for that? How many do you say?
We can go with 4.
Sushi tastes good, doesn't it? That's an art. That's an art.
Yeah, I learned that cooking is definitely an art.
Yeah, there's both parts. There's the art and the science.
Yeah.
You know, if you're already naturally good at the art, like you said, you know how to lay things out, but you know, this is the science of those flavors.
And then the last thing would be the
And then lemon. Roll. Seeds in there. Seeds in there. And of course, you know, if you get one seed, it would be the one my dad would get. And then he would belittle me and say, Wendy, you got seeds? I go, oh my God, Dad, there was one I couldn't find. My
Right.
dad's a cook and chef.
Oh,
So yeah, so
yeah.
part of it is like I have my dad carrying with me all the time. Good. Looking good.
this is good.
And all these ingredients you can get over at your grocery store.
Yes. I'm just gonna add
A little bit.
a little bit.
That's the part, see, that's the part of a good cook and a good chef. It's like you measure it, but then you go, that needs more.
Yeah. You can look at it and tell.
And then you have bread, which is non-dairy. So again, when I first saw the cheese, and saw the cheese, I'm thinking like, wait a minute, she's got some cheese over here. But this is non-dairy.
So we're gonna make tuna melts. So we're gonna use this sourdough bread. Usually sourdough is vegan. Flour, salt, water.
Well, a lot of breads are made without that.
Yes.
So you have that, and then you got the gluten, of course. I have somebody coming over on Friday night with gluten, and all I could think of everything is gluten. And I would challenge myself to not do gluten. Go Mexican, it's not rice. It's not corn tortillas, not the flour tortillas.
Yeah.
So kiddos, are you still feeding them meat, or are they also going vegan?
So shamefully, I do still feed them meat.
And let them choose later. Exposure to food.
Yeah, so I believe that we should lead by example, and they're very interested. They do eat my vegan food, so they're not like ew or nothing like that.
Well, healthy is the main thing. I mean, again, to me, it's always like, except for the pans from Spain. I like Spain, but you know, careful on opening pans. Right? You know, open pan, open pan, open pan. So then you bought a good quality one here, and good quality is probably going to go on salt. So watching those kind of things. The processed food is the stuff that's the killer.
Yes. And this was my journey too. And being a vegan, I think you are naturally more inclined to be more compassionate.
You know, again, I'm a vegetarian, and I think you work a little bit harder at your food and
Yeah.
think about it a lot more. And think about, you know, where I go. I usually end up going to like 4 grocery stores, you know, to get the stuff I want.
Yeah. All right.
And we'll have time, but once you have it here, then you actually would put these on a grill, or how would you make them melted?
I would just toast them on a flat top.
Okay.
You could just actually use
I like this recipe. I think I'll use this recipe. I'm actually getting at it more or less. And for the studio audience, we will have you email it to us so we can put it at the end of the show. So if
Okay.
people want the exact recipe with the portions. Because again, some people really need to follow the cookbook.
and I do have a recipe.
Good. Good. That'd be great. We'll have that. Okay. on top or no? And does it hold pretty well? Does it hold together pretty well? So it's not like all over the place eating it? Sweet. Sweet. So then you just grill those.
I was just grill these up.
Excellent, beautiful, I love it. Okay, so as we conclude, maybe you told us a beautiful story, like an awakening of self that ended up into maybe even an awakening for a life path,
Yes.
and then turned into also a business. Because it's just like there's such a piece of good. You know, and it created this whole piece and this pathway and sort of goodness of working here and working with other entrepreneurs.
Yes.
So you probably run into a lot of entrepreneurs here.
Yes.
Mhm. So how many people use the UpStart Kitchen, would you say, on a weekly basis or daily basis?
I would say around 10 to 15.
Nice, nice. And I think at the lower level, you have room for training. Yeah, because I think WWBIC holds some classes here. We've done some things we talk about people who need alone. So what advice would you give to someone like yourself that's out there? Give us two sets of advice. One for someone who's thinking of starting a business, and then one for someone who's already in a business. What just like world advice would you give them?
For someone thinking about following their business, I would definitely say follow your intuition, chase your dreams. It's not easy, but it is very, very, very rewarding. And just do it. Do it. You should do it.
I like it. Sort of like the Nike, just do it. Just do it. Now, for someone who's in business, maybe they're doing really well, or maybe they're struggling. Maybe they're struggling. What kind of advice?
For someone already in business, I would say rework the plan, but don't work the plan over.
Good, you're good. She's going to take over the cooking show here with her pithy comments. Thank you.
Thank you
Beautiful.
so much.
Such a pleasure meeting you. So thank you for being on WWBIC Cooking Up Business.